Oh, there we go. There's the bell. All right. Okay, all right, here we go. Friday. All right, let's see. So press pause, do the do now. Okay, and we'll come back and go over it. Okay, all right. Now, today's lesson is going to be a little bit short because I'm going to let you take the quiz at the end of this. So make sure you watch this first, okay? Because I'm going to give you some test taking tips. Okay, all right. Factor this using the GCF. Now, look at this versus what we've been doing all week, right? So go back in your notebook and look at the other four do nows from this week. How is this different than anything you've done? Yeah, look, right? It's got two variables, right? Now, don't be intimidated by that. There's nothing that new to it. Okay, so what we're gonna do right now is just find a GCF and go from there. Okay, so whenever you do something that you looks a little bit different than something you've done before, always think about, okay, like what are the steps, and then just carry through the steps, and then look at the answer, and go from there. Okay, so what's the GCF here between 3 and 6? Yep, it's 3, right? So we're gonna write that out. There's a minus sign in the middle. Okay, so 3n divided by 3, right? What would that be? Or in other words, 3 times what gives you 3n? Yeah, just n, right? Or 1n, right? So 3 times n is 3n, that makes sense. Minus 3 times what gives you 6? Yeah, 2, right? So 6 divided by 3, right? 2, and then we got the m. Don't forget about the m. Okay, so let's see if we're right. 3 times n is 3n minus, right? 3 times 2m, 6m. Okay, and that's how you write it. Okay, let's see. Unit 7, day 36. No homework tonight because you're taking the quiz. Okay, so regarding the quiz today, all right, again, don't leave any blanks because a blank answer is marked as a wrong answer. It doesn't mean that it doesn't count. It counts. It counts as a wrong answer. So make sure you do all the questions. Okay, so take your time. All right, read the choices carefully because even though problematic, let me pick out questions. I altered some of the questions and the choices. Okay, so look at the choices. Okay, I think I did a decent job of writing the quiz. So because some of the choices they all look very similar and familiar. So read the choices carefully before you make your choice. Okay, because I'm gonna tell you now again, this quiz is gonna count. It's the first grade of the fourth marking period. So in 2 weeks, when I send the grades to your parents, like they're gonna see this grade. Okay, so take your time. Okay, it's a take home test essentially. So take your time and do it. All right. You can email me for the grades. All right. So you can also email me for the grades. Okay. Now, what should I say about that? Nothing. Try to. I mean, to the degree that you remember what I said, try to email me next Monday instead of today because I don't know why. I had a really good reason, but I forgot what the reason was. So, which means it might not be a very good reason. But try to delay a little bit till next Monday, okay, to ask me about your grades. So, if you want to know what your grades are for the quiz, just email me, all right, and I'll just, I might be very short in my response, okay. I'm not trying to be what. I'm not trying to be abrupt or rude. Because I have a feeling I'm gonna get like at least 20 emails of people asking me for their grades. So and I think you've seen the homework from yesterday, right? Where at the end of the homework it tells you what your grade is, right? So, but I can't do the same thing for quizzes for obvious reasons. So, yeah, email me for the grades, all right? If there is anything else I need to say, so like let's say you got, I don't know, let's say you got like a 40 on the quiz, I'm gonna point out to you what you need to work on. Okay, I think right now that's the best I can do. And then you have until Tuesday, all right, on the blog. What does it say on the blog? You have until Tuesday 3 p.m. to complete the quiz. After that, I'm gonna take the I'm gonna remove the quiz from the blog because I want to go over the questions. Okay, so if you finish it before that. That's all I gotta say. Next Monday, I'm sending email to parents of students who have not completed any assignments this week. All right, so if this is your if today you stumble onto this video and you haven't done anything all week, you can go back to the blog. All right, go back to the days prior. All right, and do those 5 assignments. Okay, so and try to stay on top of everything. Okay, all right. What else? Oh, on the quiz. Listen up. Write down your homeroom number and then your name. All right, I don't care how you write your name. First name, last name, all caps, no caps. I don't care. If you can follow homeroom number and the name format, you will get 4 extra points on the quiz. Okay, hopefully you guys, with that incentive, you guys know how to follow directions. Okay, all right, let's see, what other announcements are there? So Monday, I'll give you the, Monday, I will give you the, what am I going to give you Monday? Oh, I'll give you the grading policy, okay, and how I'm going to interpret it and work with it. Yeah, so I looked at the YouTube video last night. At this rate, as of right now, I have 75 views. Okay, that's not good. I don't know how you guys gonna learn math from me. Like, if there's 75 people, which means there are like what, 55 people not watching it, and 85 people who handed the homework, last night's homework, as of this morning. I just don't. I don't know how this is gonna work. Like, this is not the time to like not do the work. Okay, so that's all I gotta say. Okay, all right. Now, right now, before I start the lesson with you guys, I will let you guys to watch video number 1. So go to the blog and watch this video. All right, it's pretty pretty well explained, and it does a very good job talking about what we learned yesterday. So go ahead, watch this video right now, and then we'll come back. Okay, so press pause and watch that video. Okay, all right, and we're back. So let's see. So this is the last topic. Yep, okay, I think I know where we're at. So why we talked about this? Why we graphed these? I talked to you about graphing these and then the subway analogy. Okay, I know where we're at. So what we're gonna do today is this. We'll do these 6 questions, and then we'll go into 8th grade territory. All right, and after that, I'll have you practice this, and then we'll stop, and then you can take the quiz. Okay? Yeah, perfect timing. Okay, all right. So let's do this. So 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, all right, let's do this. So here, again, all right, if you want, actually not if you want, I should have you guys, but yeah, write out the number lines. All right, okay, so here, n is greater than 3/2. Now, here's the thing. If you look at the number lines, none of the ones that are labeled is a fraction. So where is 3/2 going to be? So in other words, what's 3/2 also the same as? Yeah, 1.5, right? Or 1.5. So where's 1.5? It's between 1 and 2. I will draw a circle. By the way, so what you notice is some of the folks, they draw their circles and their lines right here. Like, they draw it on the line. All right, and then they draw the arrow. Either way, doesn't matter, but I'm the type that like to draw it above. Okay, only because first of all, it's not wrong, and second, a lot of times when I walk around the class, I can't see it because you guys are using the same writing instrument, right, for the number line and your own line, so I end up not being able to see anything. Okay, so the circle has to be filled, right, because there's a line underneath, and that's it. Okay, All right, 14K is less than 2, so where 2 is, right? Arrow goes to the left. Arrow goes to the left. Okay? All right, let's see. Negative 1.5. Now, where's negative 1.5? Yeah, it's between negative 1 and negative 2. Arrow goes to the right. All right, line underneath. Fill in the circle. Okay, so about 16. 1. So, yep, circle. Arrow to the right. Line underneath. Fill in the circle. So, how this is different today than yesterday was was that I used some fractions. Okay, just so you guys understand. So, okay, all right. So we got the circle goes to the right, goes to the right. Fill in the circle. Fill in the circle. Okay, now this one, right? We talked about this yesterday at the end of the lesson. The letter's on the wrong side because omitting style wants the letter on the left side, right? Letters come first. So what does that mean? Which way is the arrow pointing? It's pointing at the fraction. It's pointing at the fraction with the line underneath. 2.5, that's between 2 and 3. Oh, that's negative. Oops. So that's down here somewhere, right? Negative 2.5, right? Between negative 2 and negative 3. Arrow goes to the right. Right? Don't look here. All right? That's going to lead you astray. Go to the right. Go to the right. Fill in the circle. Fill in the circle. And that's it. Okay? All right, now, high school territory. All right, here we go. The mandatory, the obligatory truck in the background today. Okay, now, in 8th grade and high school and on, what you notice, I don't know if you notice the difference between like these 4 and the rest of these questions. And take a moment, look at it. How are they different? Okay. The way they're different is that each of these letters, have you noticed, there's a negative sign in front of them. So the question is, well, what do you do, right? So here's a very rudimentary, very basic way of looking at it without explaining to you the reasons behind it. Okay, I thought some of you might find this interesting. So okay, so here we have R, right? The problem is you can't just graph this. Let's lay out the problem. Like this is not. Oops, this is not the solution. All right, this is not the answer. Instead, what you need to do is you need to turn this into a positive. So you switch the sign to its opposite. And by doing that, you can do the same to this sign. So remember when we solve equations? I'll give you an example. Right? Remember when you solve this, you divide both sides by 2? Right? So whatever you do on the left, you have to do on the right side, right? So if you divide by 2 on the left, you divide by 2 on the right. Like, it's the same concept. So what I'm trying to say is, if you are turning, so by the way, you can do that. You can do that with a sign. If you say, you know what, I don't like the negative, I can turn that into positive. But the thing is, if you turn it into positive, you have to turn that into positive. So what you're saying is you don't want a negative variable when you graph this, okay? So now, that leaves that with R and the 2, but there's one more thing you need to know, okay? You don't need to know, not right now. In 8th grade, you need to know. Is that if you do that sort of flip, so imagine a light is being like flipped on and off, right? So if you flip the light on, right, you have to flip the other light on, okay? Think about it like that. So if you flip that negative to a positive, you have to flip that negative to positive. Now, what happens also? This sign switches, okay? So with that said, now, what's a good one? I don't like these 2 yet because these are the next steps. Now, same thing here, right? I got negative n. I don't want a negative variable, so I make that into a positive. What happens to the negative 5? Turns into its opposite, okay? And then n and 5, and then what happened to this sign? It switches. Now, let me give you one more example. I'll call this 11b, okay? Question 11b. What happens if you get something like this? You have negative n is greater than 2, right? Because this is negative, that's positive, right? Whereas 9 and 11, they're both negative, right? here's what happens. If this is a negative, right, which you don't want, you turn that into a positive. And then what does this one turn into? Yeah, a negative. So you always have to flip to the opposite sign, right? The opposite number. Now, what happens to the symbol here? Because you flip this into a positive, it switches. Okay? All right, so now here is something, it's like another layer to this cake, right? Where your letter's on the wrong side. So first of all, we got to rewrite this letter. Oh, I didn't graph any of this, huh? Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So you rewrite this first. Arrow points to the 4. Arrow points to the 4. Right? You flip this, right? You don't want the negative end, so you turn it into a positive. And then what happened to the 4 here? Yep, becomes negative. And then what happened to this symbol? Yeah, it flips also. Okay, so that's -4. Arrow to the left. Fill in the circle. Okay, one last one. Rewrite, right? -x. Arrow points at the 1. Arrow points at the 1. I don't want the -x. Turn it into positive. What happens to the 1 here? Yep, becomes a negative. What happens to the symbol? Okay. Arrow goes to the left. Don't fill it up. Okay. So there's a mathematical reason behind this. I don't want to get into it. All right, because this is really not part of the lesson. I just want to show some of you who are, who are really interested in this sort of stuff and show you what it's about. Okay. All right. So last part before you take the quiz. How are we doing time? Yeah, we're good. Okay. So how many questions? There are 8 questions here. Now we're going to do the exact opposite. I'm going to show you the graph, and I want you to write down the inequality for the graph. Okay, so we're flipping it around, right? So in the last part, I gave you these, you graph it. Now I give you the graph, you tell me what the inequality is. Okay, so let's do 2 together, okay? So now, first of all, you need to have a letter, right? And then you need to look at where the circle, what number is the circle on. So it's -2, right? Now, which way is the arrow going? Arrow is going to the left. Arrow goes to the left. Circle's open, so don't write the line underneath it. And there you have it, okay? Now let's try one more together, 22. So we need a letter. The number here is 5, right? Because the point is on top of the 5. Arrow goes to the left. Filled it up. Line underneath. Okay, so take the next 5 minutes. All right, go ahead and do these 6 questions, and then we'll go over it, and then I'll let you take the quiz. Okay, all right, so here we go. X, right? -5. Arrow goes to the right. Arrow goes to the right. Open circle. No line. Okay, open circle. Okay, so it's 24. Let's see, the number is 5. Arrow goes to the right. Filled it. Line underneath. Okay. 25. -2. Arrow goes to the right. Open circle. No line underneath. 26. Number is -5. Arrow goes to the right. Fill it up. Yep. Line underneath. 27. X is 1, right? To the left. To the left. Fill it out. Fill it out. 28. X. Right. 1. To the right. Fill it out. Fill it out. Okay. That's it. All right. Okay. So go ahead. On the blog, you see the quiz. Okay. It's 10 questions. Should take you about 15 minutes, but I'll give you 20-25 minutes. All right. Have it done by Tuesday 3 p.m. So at Tuesday 3 p.m. All right. When I finish eating my potato salad, all right, I'm gonna take the quiz out of the website, and so okay, that's it. Okay. All right. And again, if you want to see your grades, you let me know. Okay, and I'll email back to you. All right, and that's that. Okay, that's all I gotta say. So again, no homework tonight, and have a good weekend. Bye-bye. Okay. Oh, there we go. There's the bell. All right. Don't tell me you don't miss that bell.
OMG, that was so good.